What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? As always, I'm coming at y'all with the double salute. You feel me? Hopefully, y'all blessed, not stressed. Your Thursday is going absolutely amazing. Prayers and blessings y'all way. Look, we got some Terence Crawford news, and I'm gonna say this right off the bat. This is why I really appreciate Terence Crawford as a boxer, a fighter, and a personality. I know y'all like the rah shit. I know y'all like the I'm the best ever. I know y'all like all that shit. The Conor McGregors of the world, you feel me? Tyson Furies, the blah blah look at me type. But I appreciate the Terence Crawfords of the world. I just dropped a video yesterday where I really appreciated Triple G and his personality and how he comes to fight. And a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. We in the era of the louder you talk, the more people are going to listen, regardless of what you back up. You know what I'm saying? Where I came from or the era I came up in, we'll give a fuck how loud you talk. Let me see the work behind it. And then that's what we're going to base it off of. We'll switch in this transition, and I'm fine with that. I'm not giving no complaints. I actually enjoy it just as much as y'all. I said in another video, at the end of the day, yes, this is a sport. It's an art. It's boxing, but it's also entertainment. That's why we all watch it. That's why we talk about it. That's why, people do channels, YouTubes, all this type of stuff, man. Because at the end of the day, it's entertainment, just like we're entertainment. You feel me? But with that being said, there's different forms of entertainment, just like there's different forms of comedy. You got the raunchy comedy, you got the low key comedy, you got the clean comedy. There's all different things, and there's certain things that fit for certain people. When it comes to Terence Crawford, this nigga is a dog. You don't got to say nothing extra. You don't got to say nothing crazy. But I love it when he just comes out and does something like this. A guy like Terence Crawford does not have to acknowledge Jaron Boots Ennis. He does not have to. He really doesn't. And me growing up, looking at some of the guys that I really liked and I really enjoyed, one of those guys was Keith Thurman, right? When Errol Spence was making his way up, Keith Thurman was like, nah, bro, you got to do, hey, I got to see more from you for me to even acknowledge you, right? And that's kind of the thing you kind of used to like seeing when it comes to the boxing community. That was like a loosely example. You see Errol Spence now doing the same thing to a Jaron Boots Ennis. When asked about Ennis, he was like, he got to do what he ain't in my position. He got to do what I had to do to get to Ryan. He got to work his way up type shit. I love a guy like Terence Crawford, but he's like, man, fuck all that. When you see talent, you see talent. That nigga's a dog, and I would love to fight him. It ain't no bullshit. It ain't no, I'm trying to keep my record safe. I'm not, he got to go through what I went through. No, like, he just, like, Crawford's like, that's a dog. He got skills. He finna be next up. If I can have a touch at that, if I can have a grab at that, if I can get a go in the ring at that before I'm up out of here, I would love to do it. And that's me paraphrasing because I'm not really sure specifically what his quote was. I'm just kind of going off of this, title. Obviously, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the article and find out exactly what the details are a little bit later in this video. But Crawford is just that guy. You feel me? That's my personal opinion. And I'm not talking about to y'all Errol Spence fanboys. Oh, he's so much better than Earl. He's more of a beast. He's more skilled. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the mentality, how he approaches the sport, and the things he says and puts out in the media. He's not on the same page as everybody else. You feel me? So I really appreciate him acknowledging a young gun like Boots. He's only 24 years old. Going to be the next big thing in the welterweight division. And him saying I would love to fight him is crazy. You won't hear that from dudes at a status of Terence Crawford in the boxing world. You feel me? They'll be like, oh, yeah, I heard of him. Yeah, he's a beast. But, oh, would you ever think about fighting him? They'll be like, hell, like, why would I? What did that do for me? He's way lower than me. And then, now that, they bravado and all that type of stuff. But before I say too much, because I might be putting, digging a hole, and I go and I read the actual quote, and it has nothing to do with, the particular title that we see over here. So before I dig myself in the hole, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's actually find out exactly what the quote was so I can get a little bit more detail. But before I do that, make sure y'all hit that like button below. Make sure y'all subscribe as always. Road to 5K before the end of the year. Y'all already know what it is. Appreciate everyone who's showing love. Notification gang. Comment on this joint because obviously I want to know what y'all think. So with that being said, let's get into this article. I want to know exactly what that quote was. You feel me? It's coming from Boxing Scene as always. Love me some Boxing Scene. They always stay straight to the point with the facts. You feel me? So Showtime Boxing podcast host Eric Raskin and Kedrian Mulvaney recently asked Crawford for his thoughts on the Philadelphia-based fighter and the WBO welterweight champion. And he only had glowing reviews to offer on Ennis. Boots is a tremendous, talented guy. I've been watching him since his amateur days. He can fight both ways. He's very strong, knows boxing. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Me and him, later down the line, if that comes on my table and that's the right fight for me, I'm taking it all. Who else is saying that? Guys got to remember, Crawford is 34, 35 years old. So I dropped a video, man, a while back, maybe a year ago or something, where after the Sean Porter fight, he was on the Sean Porter podcast, and he basically said, yo, I got 3 names I want to fight before I leave. If I don't get those names at the end of the day, I'll move up to 154, take those belts. Like, I got some shit on my mind, right? And he said he doesn't want to fight till he's really, really old. He said he maybe got 3-4 years left. So I think Crawford's put himself in a position where it's like, okay, if I can't get the fights I want, I'm going to still go out on a bang. So if I got to fight a young gun in Boots, I'll do that. And that's just a fucking dog. That's why he is who he is. You feel me? Ain't nobody else saying shit like this. You feel me? So personally, if I was handling him, I would do whatever he wants to do at this point in time. He's proven that he belongs in the top echelon with the fights that he's fought. He deserves a shot. I'm not saying that he's going to beat an elite fighter yet in the welterweight division, but the guy that he fought, he passed the test with flying colors. We'll never know until he gets in there with the likes of the elite. I agree. I feel like he's done everything he could when it comes to beating the gatekeepers, beating the guys that are supposed to be a test for him and doing it in impressive fashion. I'm like, even though he's a young guy, say he was 24, he's 25. Even though he's a young guy, man, I think it's time to put him in there with the best of the best and see what he can do, man. You know what I'm saying? We got him versus Ugas would be a firefight. You feel me? So the 25-year-old Ennis is the number one challenger to Errol Spence's IBF title following a second-round knockout win against Castillo Clayton in May. Ennis is also ranked at number 2 contender by the WBO and WBA and number 3 by WBC. Should the stars perfectly align, Crawford and Ennis would one day meet. Ennis has previously talked about a big game while comparing himself to Crawford. I'm faster, stronger, smarter than Crawford. Whatever he could do, I could do better. He's older, I'm younger. He fights right-handed, I fight right-handed. He's a great fighter. I don't take anything away from him. At the end of the day, it's boxing. If you want to be great, you have to fight the best. What's going to happen. So I love that Terence Crawford is just open about it. He said, hey, if that fight happens, I'm going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Where, in comparison, Errol Spence, when he's asked about it, he's like, hey, I'm not even going to talk about that. Ennis needs to do more. He's not on my level yet. So I think it's pretty obvious that he's definitely on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford's level. I'm not saying he's better, but he's in that echelon. It's time to acknowledge that. Do I think he beats Errol Spence? No. Do I think he beats Terence? No. Now see, at 28 years old, when he got that full-grown man strength, when he's my age, you feel me? Yes. But 25, 26, I don't see him beating Errol Spence or Terence, but he can beat Ugas. Yeah. I think he can give Thurman a fight of his life. I love Thurman. That's one of my favorite motherfucking fighters in the world, but he'll give Thurman hell and back, right? So there's guys that I would love to see him in there with names. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's one person we haven't talked about is Virgil Ortiz Jr. over there with Golden Boy Promotions, who was supposed to be like hand in hand with Jaron Boots Ennis. But he had a little bit minor setback with the illness and sickness and postponing some fights. I still think he has a bright future. But how do you guys feel about this, man? Do you think Terence Crawford is capping? Do you think he's real? Would he really accept the fight against Boots Ennis? Like, what do you guys think about this? How, you know what I'm saying? Am I overhyping it? Do you think I'm being a little bit fanboyish? Am I being a little bit too biased? Like, what's y'all, what's y'all opinion on this, man? Me personally, I got nothing but respect for a guy like Terence saying, hey, if that fight came across the table, I'm taking it. Rather than being, what most of these guys would say is like, why would I take that fight? He's not on my level. I remember when I was his age, I had to do X, Y, and Z to get to my point. So he should do the same thing. No, Terence is like, he's passed the test. He should be in the upper echelons. He should be getting big fights. His team should be letting him do whatever he wants. That's love right there. I love Terence Crawford for that. So let me know what y'all feel about it as always, man. Drop it below in the comments, man. Please like the video as well. Subscribe. That's the most important thing. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'm going to be telling y'all that every single day. Road to 5K before the end of the year. You already know what it is, man. Salute to the people, man. I already see y'all coming up in here showing love, so I'm just going to show love back. You already know what it is. Consistency is key, and we're just going to keep this thing rocking, man. On Switch Nigga Side of the Game. I'll be back with more boxing. Stay blessed. Nah.